The Road to Emmaus, a journey of faith and revelation. Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most beautiful and profound stories in the Bible, the Road to Emmaus. This passage is found in Luke 24 verses 13 to 35 and takes place shortly after the resurrection of Jesus. It's a story of hope, revelation, and how Jesus walks with us even when we don't recognize him. Let's explore it together. The story begins with two disciples walking from Jerusalem to Emmaus, a journey of about 7 miles. They were heartbroken, confused, and full of doubt after Jesus' crucifixion. They had hoped he was the one to redeem Israel, but now it seemed like all hope was lost. As they walked, they talked about everything that had happened. Suddenly, a stranger joined them and asked, "What are you discussing as you walk along?" The disciples didn't recognize that this man was Jesus himself. The two disciples shared their sorrow with the stranger, explaining how their hopes were shattered. They also mentioned hearing rumors that Jesus' tomb was empty, but they didn't know what to believe. Then the stranger began to explain the scriptures to them, starting with Moses and all the prophets. He showed them how everything written pointed to the Messiah and how these events were part of God's plan. Can you imagine their hearts stirring as he spoke? Later in verse 32, they would say, "Were not our hearts burning within us while he talked with us on the road and opened the scriptures to us?" As they approached Emmaus, the disciples invited the stranger to stay with them because it was getting late. During the meal, something incredible happened. Jesus took the bread, gave thanks, broke it, and began to give it to them. In that moment, their eyes were opened, and they recognized him. But just as quickly as they realized who he was, he disappeared. This moment teaches us something so powerful. Jesus reveals himself to us in the breaking of bread, in moments of fellowship, and when we open our hearts to him. The disciples immediately got up and returned to Jerusalem to share the good news. They told the other disciples how Jesus had walked with them and how they recognized him in the breaking of the bread. What does this mean for us today? Sometimes, like the disciples, we don't recognize Jesus walking alongside us in the midst of our struggles. But he is there, patiently guiding us, revealing himself through his word, through prayer, and through others. This story reminds us to stay open to his presence, even in the ordinary moments of life. It's also a call to share our encounters with Christ, just as the disciples did. So, how can we apply this story to our own lives? Let's take time this week to reflect on where we've seen Jesus at work in our lives. Maybe it's in the kindness of a friend, in the beauty of creation, or in the comfort of his word. If you enjoyed this reflection, don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who might need encouragement, and subscribe for more content like this. Let's continue to walk this journey of faith together. Thank you for joining me today. Remember, Jesus is always walking with you, even when you don't realize it. See you next time, and God bless.